You will play your part, make me strong. Now I'll follow my heart to see where we are. Don't you know what I mean?
Well, after that sensational 60cc mini final, a little bit of news. The American Ugo Ukachukwu not only was forced out of the race on the circuit, but actually had a technical failure after a dominant weekend. We're not quite sure what the problem is, but the team have confirmed that they've had a freak failure in the driveline of that kart for the young American. Bad luck, but congratulations to Maya Veg for taking the win. The first of our 4 finals this afternoon. We are about to continue on with the second of 4 races. This is the OK Original Kart 125cc World Championship category. The final hit out before the CIK FIA World Championships at Bahrain on November 19. Fittingly, it is the reigning world champion Karol Basz who will start on pole position, courtesy of a dominant pre-final win this morning here at Adria. Unfortunately, Clement Novalak, who actually led the opening laps of the pre-final, had an electrical failure, another freak occurrence on what are generally pretty reliable 125cc OK engines. It wasn't an engine failure as such. It was one of those 2-cent parts that do fail in motor racing. From time to time, Clement has to start this from near the back of the grid, the 9th row of the grid, in fact, for the British driver. There is the scene. The sun is shining. You can see the shadows just at the circuit. There we go. And that storm that we spoke of before the 60cc mini final is blowing out towards the Adriatic Sea, which is only about 10 or 15 kilometres from the location of this Adria circuit. There is the pole sitter, the man of the moment. 201, Karol Basz, the pole, the reigning world champion. He'll be looking to defend that title in Bahrain on November 19. But before that, he wants to win this, the WSK Final Cup here at Adria Karting Raceway. The winner of this corresponding race last year was Nicholas Nielsen. There is Rasmus Lind. He had a brilliant pre-final. Well, can the Ricardo kart taste victory? Daniel, the man, Ricardo taking a win earlier this morning in the Malaysian F1 Grand Prix. Can his boy, Rasmus Lind, take the victory in OK this afternoon? David Lombardo, he had a great turn of speed in the pre-final, the 221. Starts on the 2nd row alongside another Ricardo kart, Christian Lundgaard, the 2015 last year's junior European champion. So 2 Ricardo karts on the front 2 rows of the grid. Grid 2 and 4 for Rasmus and Christian. There is Nikita Sitnikov, the Mad Croc entry. The Russian starting out of grid 5, just suiting up. Sun certainly is coming out, and we will reach the top of 23 degrees. So you look at the kart of 202, Noah Miell, the Swede, ready to go. He is the nephew of the 1996 World Formula Super 8 champion, Johnny Mislievich, who is watching on from his home in Sweden, not here this weekend. One of the rare races that Johnny's missing. His nephew, Noah, starting out at grid 6. As you look at the French driver, Jean-Baptiste Suminouer, what a pre-final the Tony Kart pilot had. Eventually finishing 7th. Paavo Tontteri, he's had a pretty good year, the Finn. Rarely outside the top 5 or 6 in the Euro Champs. Also had a good run in the DKM German Championships this year, as well as the WSK races. There is Jordan Lennox Lamb in the Birrell Art. He is the world champion from 2012, having won that title at Sano in KZ2, the gearbox class. He is the reigning vice world champion, starting alongside Lorenzo Travisanutto, who lives only about an hour's drive from here. Lorenzo had a huge crash in heat number 1 yesterday when he had brake failure, but he was back for the heats and he had a good run. Starting out of grid 10, Taimur Kermansashi from Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates. There is the scene here at one of the finest motor racing complexes in Europe, Adria Karting Raceway. Jacopo Geno, number 204. The Ward Racing entry out of grid 12. All the way from a big hello to Martin, his mother, also all the Modja family watching us live back in Argentina. It's been a difficult year for the Modja family with the tragic, but their boy Guido is doing their family start on the 7th row of the grid. Alexander Smolyar, another Russian, driving this magnificent complex. This is Adria Karting Raceway. This is Nikolai, the TM-powered Praga. Starting on the 8th row of the grid alongside Leonardo Lorandi, one of 18 baby race drivers competing here this weekend. The beautiful Vega Grid girls leave the circuit here at Adria. What a tremendous sight this is. You don't know if I'm talking about the karts or the girls, do you? The 1 minute board goes up and we count down to the WSK Final Cup here at Adria Karting Raceway. Yes, as we mentioned, one of the finest motor racing complexes in Europe. In fact, a few days ago, you may have seen that the Audi Motorsport Team Europe launched their TCR Touring Car Challenger for 2017. They chose Adria to do their official testing here at Thursday and Friday on the car racing circuit, the world debut of the Audi TCR car just a few days ago. This is the grid. Bash Lind on the front row. Kosmic versus Ricardo Kart. David Lombardo in the X3 alongside another Ricardo of Christian Lundgaard. Nikita Sitnikov, Noah Miell, Jean-Baptiste Minoer, and Pablo Tontari. 5th row of the grid, Travisanutto, Jordan Lennox-Lamb, Jacopo Geno, Taimur Kermansashi, Guido Modja, Alexander Smolyar, Kavasai Lorandi, Martin van Leeuwen, and Clement Novalak after leading the pre-final. Starts out of grid 18, Emil Dose. Out of grid number 20, the 2013 world champion with a lot of work to do, Tom Joyner. And on the final grid spot, Vittorio Mangili in the 211 CRG. We will have one more formation lap as the sun comes out to shine here at Adria Raceway. 20 laps the journey, a race distance officially of 25 kilometres. In fact, it's slightly more, it's actually 26.04 Ks. Around this world-class complex, an incredibly physical circuit, enormous Gs generated by these super quick OK 125cc direct drive class karts. Stand by for this one. The reigning world champion, Karol Basz, on pole position, kart 201. 2 Ricardo karts in the top 4. This is the hairpin before the Magny-Cours chicane. The car racing circuit in the background. Stand by for a super race. The OK Final, the WSK Final Cup for 2016. We go green. Bash leads down into turn number 1. David Lombardo into second place. The Ricardo karts run third and fourth. Great start by Noah Miell. He's up into P5. Jordan Lennox-Lamb in the yellow helmet, the red and white Birrell art, tucked in behind the fin, Paavo Tontari. And an incident further back in the field for Lorandi and Emil Dose. Emil Dose is out. In fact, the Dane has lost his front left wheel. Bash leads for the first time. David Lombardo. The Ricardo karts of Lind and Lundgaard running in 3 and 4. Then we go back to Noah Miell, who's looking very racy early on. Across the line for the first time. Bash leads from Lombardo, Lind, Lundgaard, Miell, Sitnikov, Travisanutto, Paavo Tontari. Jordan is in 9th. Teemu Kermansashi, his second outing with the Ricky Flynn Motorsport team, rounds out the top 10. There's Bash. Well, Lombardo is not exactly letting the reigning world champion get away. Miell, meanwhile, is all over the back of Christian Lundgaard as we take a look at a replay of the start. Two perfect train track lines up towards the start. Lombardo from the second row of the grid goes through into second. Thank you very much, says the Italian. That's the position he currently holds. Under pressure, though, from Rasmus Lind. A tighter line from the Swede. On the back of the Italian. Can he get past down into turn number 1? As Bash starts to skip away. Here comes Lind. Lind up the inside. Puts the right side Vega tyres on the ripple strip. Well, Lombardo has got a fight on his hands now. He looks over his shoulder as Sitnikov goes wide. An incident with Tontari further back in the field. Miell up into 4th. Lind down the inside again. He tries it up onto 2 wheels. How spectacular was that? Noah Miell goes through into second spot. Kosmic's now run 1 and 2. Unbelievable scenes reminiscent of the good old days of 100cc ICA and Formula A. You saw him get up onto almost a 45-degree angle. Let's have a look at the replay. Over the ripple strip, sideways in the air. Spectacular action here at Adria Karting Raceway. It has cost him, though, because he's back in 4th. Lundgaard, here comes Jordan around the outside of the Ricardo kart. Pushed out wide, but Jordan goes through. He splits the Ricardo karts. This time Lombardo cannot hold off. The big beneficiary, though, has been this man on screen, Lorenzo Travisanutto. After a huge crash in practice yesterday, he's up inside the top 3. Lombardo. Lundgaard. Bash, meanwhile, is racing away to a lead of 1.1 seconds as the sportsmanship warning flag, unsurprisingly, comes out for at least one kart. It is being displayed for the 205 of Alexander Smolyar. What a race we've got going on here today. Lombardo. Lundgaard. Lind. There's Jordan, the bright yellow helmet of the Englishman, the former World Cup champion. Travisanutto, as we mentioned, had brake failure in the first heat yesterday, left the circuit at over 100 k's an hour and smashed into the pit lane entrance at the top of your screen with no brakes whatsoever. The kart was destroyed, he was bruised, but incredibly, he was back for heats 2 and 3 and actually moved up through the field. A good night's sleep, some medication and painkillers. Lorenzo Travisanutto, this year's WSK Supermaster Series champion, don't forget. He's now running in position number 3. It's a Kosmic kart domination here at Adria. There is the reigning world champ. His teammate, Noah Miell, from grid number 5, running in second. This will be one of the biggest results of his career if he can hold on. The young Swede. Bash goes through onto the straight. We've passed quarter race distance. Travisanutto makes an adjustment on that Ward Racing tune Vortex. Lundgaard is in 4th. Smolyar 5th. Lombardo, Lind back to 7th. Here's Lorandi. the tail of this battle. Smolja, Lombardo, Rasmus Lind, Jordan. A little bit of a gap to Paavo Tontari, who's just got past the driver from Argentino, Guido Moggia. Up the inside, I think we've lost one of the Tony Karts with a spectacular crash at the Vega curve. Indeed, that is the Argentine we were just speaking about. Guido Moggia climbing up on the back of the kart in front. He will attempt to restart. He is okay. In fact, he's push starting the Vortex-powered factory Tony Kart. The Vega curve, Guido Moggia, half a lap behind, but will rejoin the race. That could have been nasty. It has cost him any hope of a result. Guido Moggia does continue on, but he's way down in position number 19. So Karol Basz with a lead of 0.6 of a second to his Kosmic Kart teammate Noah Miell. Has he got the speed? Has he got the experience? Or will the young Swede come flying through in the second part of this race? Down through the Magny Course chicane, over the ripple strip, goes the Pole, 26 years of age, from Warsaw in Poland. Miell looks behind, a long way back to Lorenzo Travisanutto. Longard, Smolja, Lind, Lennox Lamb, Joyner from the back of the field. Now Tom has got his sights locked on the podium. He's just got past his countryman, Jordan Lennox Lamb. What a drive from Tom Joyner from the back of the grid up into P7. Joyner in the Zanardi kart. Don't forget, he's the 2013 World Champion. Kosmic running 1 and 2. Bash and Miell. We go back to Travisanutto in third. We are not even at half race distance. There's Travisanutto, Lungard, Smolja, Lind. Here comes Tom Joyner down the straight. He's already put 0.4 of a second on Jordan Lennox Lamb, his countryman. Can Tom Joyner mount the podium from the back of the grid? Meanwhile, Noah Miell, who would have thought the young Swede, he is catching the reigning world champion Karol Basz. We have got a race on our hands as we approach half race distance. A long way back to Lorenzo Travisanutto. Lungard still fighting off the challenge of the Russian Alexander Smolja. Rasmus Lind Joyner up into 7th. Miell looks behind. He doesn't need to worry about an attack from Travisanutto. He's exactly 2 seconds behind. Let's watch the Swede. This is half race distance. The final of the original kart direct drive class here at Adria Karting Raceway. Through the right-hander, incredibly high G-forces as they approach the Vega curves. Moggia has rejoined, by the way. The Argentine is down at the bottom of the field, but courageously is still lapping. The gap remains 0.3 of a second as Rasmus Lind sets the fastest first sector. Clement Novalak, mind you, he's come from grid 18. The Brit has just hit the fastest lap of the race of 47.581. There we go at the bottom of your screen. He's in position 9. And like Joyner, he is on the charge. Next in line is Jordan, the Birla team driver, still the reigning vice world champion. He will attempt to go one better at Bahrain on November 19. The final hit out before this year's World Championship is this race on screen. And I tell you what, the reigning world champion is looking good to defend his title and win here this afternoon. The gap remains 0.3 of a second. Miell, though, did set the fastest first sector. What a talent this kid is. What pedigree he's got. As we mentioned, his uncle, Johnny Mislejevich, won the Formula Super A World Championships at Gara exactly 20 years ago. Of course, he famously passed Alessandro Manetti on the very last lap of that race. Noah was not even born when Johnny became Sweden's third ever World Karting Champion, joining Tommy Nielsen and Peter Rydell as the only 3 Swedes ever to have won the world title. Noah Miell, wow, could he write his name into history in Bahrain? Could he win here this afternoon? You watch Alexander Smolja flat out down through turn 1 on the back of Christian Lundgaard, the 2015 Junior European Champion. Smolja all over the back of Lundgaard. Ironically, Lundgaard won that title last year with Ward Racing. Smolja right behind him. Guess who he's driving for? Yes, Ward Racing. If anything happens to the leaders, these drivers are in a position to pounce. And in fact, they are now starting to catch the other Ward Racing team driver, Lorenzo Travisanutto, who is currently in 3rd on the podium. Onto the start-finish straight. They wind up these 125cc engines. 16,000 RPM, 128 kilometres an hour here at Adria Karting Raceway. The fight for 4th and 5th. On screen now, the Ricardo Kart. Down the inside goes Smolja. Nice move. Up into 4th. Nothing really Lundgaard could do about that. He's back to 5th. His teammate runs in 6th. That's Rasmus Lind. Well, as we mentioned, Daniel Ricciardo himself, only a few hours ago, took victory in the Malaysian F1 Grand Prix. His kart's bearing his name, being driven by Lundgaard and Lind. Unlikely to repeat Dano's feat here this afternoon as we take a look at the replay. Smolja down the inside. Nice move. To be fair, Lundgaard did give him racing room. He looked behind him even before he had exited the corner. There's Lind. So we go back to the front with 3/4 of the race gone, and I can tell you that the gap, you can see on screen, is down to just 0.2 of a second as Novalak goes even faster, tucked down in 9th position behind his countryman, Jordan Lennox-Lamb. In fact, the Brits, Joyner, Jordan and Clement, running 7th, 8th and 9th as the Union Jack lights up our timing screen. The gap last time, 0.274. Bash made up a little bit in the final sector there. It's out to 0.314. With 4 laps remaining. The reigning world champion, 26 years of age, from Poland, and his young Swedish teammate, very smooth over the ripple strip, down into the turn 5 hairpin. That's the corner where Travisanutto lost his brakes in the first heat yesterday. The Italian does still run in 3rd behind this battle for the lead. Kosmic, 1 and 2. Very, very smooth are the purple karts. Down through the Magny-Cours chicane. He's really put in the big ones over this final lap. I think he's put a 10th or 2 on the young Swede this time round. Miell knows it. He jumps out of the seat, willing it on, because he's just lost a 10.5 to Bash that time round. There's the 2 Ricardo karts, Joyner, Jordan, Clement Novalak. There's Pavel Tontori, the Finnish driver. We go back to David Lombardo, Sitnikov, Jean-Baptiste Souminoer, also the French driver in the Tony kart. Back to Leonardo Lorandi, one of the 18 baby race Tony karts racing here at Adria this weekend. The fight for the 2 Ricardos, between the 2 Ricardo karts, I should say. And it looks as though they're going to change positions. 214 is Lundgaard. 215 is Lind. They're going too wide. Tom Joyner, the 2013 world champion, says, "What are you doing, boys?" Jordan's going to get a piece of this. They're going to both get a run on the 2 Ricardo karts. The British drivers, they're side by side down into turn number 1. Spectacular action here in the OK class. Joyner down the inside. Jordan tries to follow him through. I think he's done it. Oh, spectacular action. Lundgaard holds on. Rasmus Lind gets shuffled back through the field. And Clement Novalak, the other British driver, at the tail of this battle. What brilliant stuff. They're going 2 and 3 wide. Joyner has passed them all. Jordan runs a little bit wide. There's Clement Novalak. Rasmus Lind takes the Brit around the outside to gain at least 1 position back for the Ricardo kart team. Tom Joyner has disappeared up the road as Jordan goes through. Novalak very gutsy on a part of the circuit where you cannot pass. He has just got past the Swede Rasmus Lind. This is the final lap of the race. I don't think the Swede Miell is going to have enough in it to catch the reigning world champion. He's about 3 kart lengths behind. Jordan goes defensive. As we pan back to the leaders, Jordan blocks the line. They're going down through the chicane. Here comes the reigning world champion, Karol Basz. He wins at Adria. Miell is second. He's absolutely delighted. Lorenzo Travisanutto, what a drive from the Italian to come home in position number 3. After that massive crash yesterday, Lorenzo has taken the 3rd step of the podium. Kosmic have run 1 and 2. Karol Basz has won it by 0.4 of a second in the end. The young Swede Noah Miell gave it everything. So we take a look at a replay of the race. Travisanutto made a great start. He would eventually go on to finish 3rd. The Ricardo karts were threatening early on. This was spectacular stuff. Davide Lombardo would eventually finish outside the top 10. Alexander Smolyar, it was great racing further back inside the top 10. How good is the OK Junior, the OK category, the 125cc direct drive class? The Ricardo karts, they put on a show. Lundgaard eventually finishing in position 5. Rasmus Lind in position 8. Karol Basz, the reigning world champion, comes across the line to win it from Noah Miell. Kosmic karts go 1 and 2. The Italian Lorenzo Travisanutto for Ward Racing, a well-deserved position number 3. Here's the results. Basz and Miell, Kosmic 1 and 2. Travisanutto, the Russian Smolyar, just off the podium. A gutsy drive from Lundgaard. Joyner from the back of the grid comes home 6th. Novalak did similar, also from the back of the grid to finish 7th, ahead of Lind, Jordan, and the Finn Pavel Tonteri rounds out the field. So stay with us on. We'll have the podium presentation in just a moment. It's the OK final. Well, the final international hit out before the World Championships in Bahrain. And the reigning world champion, he's looking good to go back-to-back after winning the WSK Final Cup here at Adria. Stay with us. The official presentations in just a moment. We wait for the drivers to make their way up to the podium in the last international hit out before the World Championships in Bahrain on November 19. And the form is looking pretty ominous for the reigning world champion. 2 finals done, 2 finals still remaining here on WSK.it. Also, you might be watching us live on Facebook on our official page, WSK Promotion. We'll have the junior final in a moment, and then the road racing rocket ships, the KZ2 final, to round out the program here at Adria Karting Raceway. The junior race will be something else that will be coming up immediately after the podium presentation. Don't forget the official calendar, the provisional calendar for the 2017 WSK season has been announced this weekend at Adria. If you'd like to go on to the official Facebook page of WSK Promotion, also WSK.it. To see the official or the provisional calendar for 2017, starting with the official collective test here at Adria, the Champions Cup a week later, and then the first round of the 2017 WSK Super Masters Series, also here at Adria, before we go to Castelletto, La Conca World Circuit, and concluding at Sarno International Circuit. And then the CIK FIA European Championships get underway in 2017 also. Give us a like on our official Facebook page of WSK Promotion, where you can also watch the remaining 2 finals live here this afternoon. I can see the drivers making their way up to the podium now. Kosmic Kart 1 and 2. A great way to lead into the World Championships. We will ask Karol Basz about that after we hear the national anthem of Poland at the completion of the presentation. Let's get underway with the official podium presentations for the 125cc direct drive OK category. What a gutsy performance. Let's hear it for 3rd place on the podium, Lorenzo Travisanutto. All the way from Sweden, making it a Kosmic Kart 1 and 2, Noah Miell in 2nd place. The winner in dominant fashion. Let's hear it for the reigning world champion, the Pole, Karol Basz. As the girls step in to present the 3rd place trophy to Lorenzo Travisanutto. 2nd place to Noah Miell. And the winner, the reigning world champion, it's a Kosmic Kart 1 and 2. Let's hear it for Karol Basz. As we stand by for the national anthem of Poland. the podium for the OK Direct Drive class at Kosmic Kart 1 and 2. In third place, first of all, Lorenzo, a huge accident. You hit the wall with no brakes at more than 100 k's an hour yesterday. What a way to come back. Third place, congratulations.
Well, thank you very much. It's been, yeah, tough weekend, full of difficult experience. And, well, today, for sure, it was difficult. I'm happy of this result because, anyway, from yesterday, we had to work a lot. And, I mean, this is great to be here.
Congratulations, Lorenzo. You certainly deserve that. Well done. Noah Miell, what a drive. You almost got the better of your teammate. Don't forget, he's the reigning world champion. Congratulations, second place.
Thank you so much. I was starting to catch him, but in the end, he was faster than me. So.
Congratulations, Noah and Karol Basz. We have to say, as reigning world champion, this is the last international hit out. You're looking good to defend your title in Bahrain.
We have to prepare everything for Bahrain because in November we have a World Championship, the most important race. I think for this moment we have good space. Congratulations for my teammate. Finally on the podium, he made a very good job all weekend. Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations, Karol, Noah and Lorenzo. Two finals remain coming up, the junior race and then KZ2 in just a moment.